Hey everyone, David Cole here. Welcome to the first of our 10 video series on ESL teaching strategies. Today, we're diving straight into strategy number 1, TPR, or Total Physical Response. See, we're starting with TPR because it's a game changer in teaching a second language, especially when working with kids. So let's get moving and make learning fun. What is TPR? Well, Total Physical Response is a dynamic teaching approach that combines movement and language to boost language acquisition. See, this technique engages both the teacher and the student. It's not just the teacher performing actions while the student watches. Instead, it's a two-way street where students connect actions with the language, leading to a better retention and understanding compared to traditional methods without the movement. So why TPR? Well, TPR taps into three main learning styles: your visual, your kinesthetic, and your auditory. By integrating movement, we're connecting students to the language, targeting all three learning styles, and enhancing their grasp of the material. Now, let's talk about some key principles. In this video series, we'll focus on two key principles. First, emphasize teaching the objectives. Keep it simple and focused. Avoid the extra fluff. See, by doing so, you can ensure that your students fully grasp the concepts rather than just skimming the surface. Second, tailor your teaching to the student's understanding. If a student isn't comprehending the material, sticking rigidly to a lesson plan can lead to frustration and confusion. Instead, adapt your instruction to meet the needs of each individual student. This is especially effective in one-on-one online teaching environments, though it can also be beneficial in group classes. Let's move to whole brain teaching. This is a strategy that's quite similar to TPR. This is an innovative approach that engages multiple areas of the brain to enhance learning and retention. This method combines visual, auditory, and kinesthetic elements, making learning more dynamic and interactive as an experience for students. In whole brain teaching, both the teacher and students are actively involved. Teachers use gestures and movements and expressions to convey information, while students mirror these actions and participate in a highly interactive manner. This not only helps in retaining information, but also makes the learning process more enjoyable and effective. Like TPR, whole brain teaching emphasizes the connection between actions and language, ensuring that students internalize and remember the content more effectively. So why teach like this? To model why we use TPR, I've decided to talk to you in a language called Esperanto. You guys are going to love this. So I'm going to be showing you what it feels like to be hearing a new language. And today it's Esperanto. Saluton, mi nomo estas David. Kio estas via nomo? Did you catch that? Let's do it again. Saluton, mia nomo estas David. Kia estas via nomo? Saluton, mia nomo estas David. Kio estas via nomo? All right, now let's put some TPR into this instruction. All right, TPR. Saluton. Mia nomo estas David. Saluton. Mia nomo estas David. Kio estas via nomo? Mia nomo estas Alice. Mia nomo estas Alice. Good job. All right, there's your high five. I love it. So now you know exactly what I said because I was using instructional TPR. So there are two types of TPR, and let's just get a little idea of how to use them here. First, instructional TPR. Commands like stand up or what's your name. I like to do what's your name paired with gestures. So these are when I'm giving commands like I said, stand up, sit down. If I ask what's your name, I'm using actions and movement to go along with the instruction. The student isn't expected to repeat these commands. One thing I use a lot with my beginning students, I say, you repeat. So you can point to your mouth, repeat. Then I point to the student. You repeat. Now, I can say, lion. Looking at something, lion. Or I can say, point to your mouth and say, lion. And they say, lion. Very good. Good job. I don't expect them to cup their ear. Some of them do it because they're following along with you, but this action is just an action for listen. You're listening. Instead of me saying, can you repeat? Or will you say, I just point to my chin and say one word, keeping our language 50-50. We want us speaking 50, them speaking 50. Some teachers also like to do 80-20. Depends on what level you're working at and what your goal is. Okay. Now let's talk about educational or content TPR. Vocabulary with actions. So lion, I got this, lion. Students mimic the actions for a deeper retention. Now, let's talk about vocabulary words and content that you're teaching. See, I expect my students to do these actions. For example, if I was teaching lion, again, I would say lion, lion. Or you could do it the other way around. If you wanted to point out the word first, lion, lion. And then you cup your ear, have them say it. All right. That shows the lion's mane or a roar and gets them to connect it to the animal that they already know. We're not teaching them a new animal. In their own language, they already know these animals. We're just trying to connect our word to something that they already know. All right. Basically, I said lion, and then I wanted them to do the same action, and they'll get it. If you're using this instructional, educational type TPR. So you want to make sure that you're consistent with your students, then they'll start to get what your meaning is whenever you're moving on to new lessons. So be consistent and persistent. All right, so these are my tips for TPR. Very simple and to the point. Thanks for watching. I've crafted these videos to address your feedback and help you sharpen your ESL teaching skills. Think of them as bite-sized, enjoyable lessons that make learning fun and easy to digest so you can enhance your teaching skills going into this new realm of teaching. If you haven't yet subscribed, now's the perfect time to join our community. I regularly post new videos with teaching tips, tricks, and other engaging content. Feel free to dive in and binge watch my channel. I hope you find it as fun as binge watching Netflix. All right, and I want to challenge you to put into practice what you have learned here from this lesson. If you're already starting to do lessons, give TPR total physical response. A try in your next lesson. If you haven't started teaching lessons, try it with someone in your life. See if they can understand what you're trying to point out. Pick 3 vocabulary words and create gestures to teach them. Then share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how it goes. In the next video, we're going to dive into how to model language effectively for your students. Stay tuned and make sure to subscribe for more valuable tips. Thanks again for watching. And remember, you can do hard things. Keep pushing those boundaries and stay positive.